Re-establishment or restoration tips of soil. Land degradation is the world's most underreported problem. Our planet's landscapes and seascapes are losing their ability to sustain us, and a word used about it outside of climate and environmental circles. On 21st November 2023, the Global Landscapes Forum organized a free online event to examine how to stave off degradation by restoring landscapes. The Restoration Experience Digital Forum. Here, the experts proposed 5 facts for restoration. Number one, land degradation threatens half of global GDP. Up to 40% of the Earth's land has already been degraded, directly affecting about half of the world's population and putting half of the global economy at risk. If not act now, another area of land the size of South America could become degraded by 2050. Some world leaders are doing little bit. Governments face relentless and often justified criticism for not doing enough to tackle the climate and biodiversity crisis. But even here, there is still hope. In July, the European Parliament passed a law that will require the restoration of 20% of the European Union land and sea areas by 2030. And the European Union is not alone. Here are 5 more policies introduced this year that aim to protect nature. Regenerate to restore. There is no restoring the plant without rethinking our food system, which are a major source of greenhouse gas emission and a key driver of biodiversity loss. That is where regenerative agriculture comes in. Regeneration agriculture focuses on improving the health of soil, which has been degraded by the use of heavy machinery, fertilizer, and pesticide in intensive farming. There may not be enough soil to grow food to feed the world within 50 years. Regenerative agriculture and other farming methods that don't harm the climate can improve farmers' income as well as cutting emissions and boosting soil health. Indigenous and traditional knowledge are key. If we want restoration to succeed, we must ensure that it is not only rooted in the latest science and technology, but also co led by indigenous and rural communities who live off the land. That is because no one knows landscape better than the people who have lived there for centuries or even longer. So, there are two views from our restoration stewards on the ground. One working with the indigenous youth to rebuild food sovereignty in the Philippines, and another harnessing the wisdom of Kenya elders to save the community mangroves. There is no single right way to reforest. A lot of the talk around restoration revolves around forest. Given the vast amounts of carbon they store, as well as the fact that they are under threat virtually everywhere. It is clear that we need to end deforestation and bring back the forests that have already been lost. There is five main ways to reforest the earth, from natural regeneration to agroforestry. There are less expensive or potentially more viable options among shrubland, shrublands, protected areas, pasture where forest historically occurred, not native grassland, croplands with challenging soils, urban areas. Please subscribe it and like it. Do favor. Thanks.